So, hi guys, welcome back to Arrow, episode, I want to say 11, Left Behind. This episode was absolutely brilliant. Probably perhaps one of the best episodes thus far, and a return to form in regards to Arrow Season 3. It also has to be one of the best mid-season mid-season premieres that I've seen, out of all of the comic book stuff that came out. And the reason why I say this is because how the show ended and how the mid-season finale ended and how it began was so interesting. Basically, it's 3 days since Oliver went to go fight Ra's al Ghul, and he hasn't checked in. He has disappeared, and Team Arrow basically do not know how to react to A, Oliver being dead, B, what to do with his legacy, and 3, they don't know what they're gonna do with Oliver's, and 3, they don't know whether Oliver is actually concretely dead or not. And it brings up some very interesting dynamics, especially for Felicity, who doesn't want to believe that Oliver Queen is dead. And she also has the added problem of the fact that Ray Palmer wants to go down the same line. And it's just... and the stuff going on with her was really, really interesting. We also have the Black Canary return in the form of Laurel Lance. So yeah, let's get into this episode now, because again, there's a lot to say in regards to it. I really like how the team struggle with an absent Oliver Queen. Basically, they're tracking down a group of people working for a villain named Brick, who is played by the same guy from X-Men 3, who said, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." And yeah, it's that actor. And let me tell you, that actor really plays a thug very, very well. And he actually didn't do a bad job in this episode. He was really, really good. And I really liked him. And his plan's basically to invade the Glades, and Team Arrow are trying to stop that from happening. And basically he's like, he set up the idea that everything that the Team Arrow have done within the last 8 months, and everything that Oliver has given up his life for, has all gone completely kaput. All of the villains that he put into prison are now free, and are now all working for this Brick character, who is planning to invade the Glades. And I really, really like the struggle that Team Arrow go through. You know, and it's kind of like with the whole Batman thing. In Batman R.I., in the aftermath of Batman's death in Batman R.I.P. and Final Crisis, Batman and his network, if you will, and his Bat family really struggled with what they would do with Batman's legacy. And I kind of feel like Team Arrow are going through the same motions. Oliver Queen started this process, and now it's the people who are left behind who have to pick up the pieces and have to decide where this course of action will take them. And I really, really like that idea, because Diggle actually acts as the arrow in the beginning of the episode, and he can't do it. He is not the arrow. And you can really see him, struggling with this and trying to hold the team together. And, and he struggles with that, He was Oliver's best friend. He was Oliver's, first sidekick, really. And he was Oliver's partner in this journey. And he's trying to keep all the pieces in place. And it's very, very hard. I was very, very impressed with Roy Harper in this episode. From what Roy was in the beginning, Roy has really, really changed into the Arsenal character. Having watched Teen Wolf and not really liking the character and the actor of in that show, Colton Haynes has done a really, really good job at making Roy Harper into a genuine character. Some of it feels a little bit wooden, partly because Roy Harper hasn't had his own story arc yet. But I really, really like how he's stepping up to the plate of becoming a superhero. And I really, really like that. And I really hope that in this season, if this season is all about character building, I do hope that Roy Harper gets a few episodes away from Thea Queen to just develop as his own character. And that would be an excellent time to bring in China White if they were going to. Really impressed with Roy Harper in this episode. And Felicity was very interesting in this episode. She starts out in complete denial. I feel like she skipped a few phases of grief. Because she changes her mind, like once she realizes that Oliver Queen died, her viewpoint about Oliver being dead snapped. And I think that was a bit too fast. I think she hadn't really had time to process the information. But see, Felicity's in a really interesting position because she knows what she knows what the superhero lifestyle does to people, and she's watching Ray Palmer go through that process, or through the start of that process, and it was really interesting because I feel like Roy Palmer's entire agenda rests on the shoulders of Felicity being able to help him. And here's why. The CW universe is really putting Felicity right in the center as the watchtower of this universe. And basically Felicity is taking on the role that Chloe Sullivan in Smallville took. She is the bridge that will bridge all of these superheroes together. And characters like Ray Palmer are not looking to characters like Flash and Arrow. They're looking to characters like Felicity, who is truly in a position to help characters like Ray Palmer by using her genius to do good. And I know I might be stretching a lot, but I feel like where this is all going is that Felicity will help Ray Palmer become a superhero. And I think and when that happens, whether Ray Palmer does it on his own at the beginning, it will all be on Felicity, because Felicity will bridge that gap between the Arrow character and the Flash character. And I think we're going to be watching the bridging of all of these characters. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we see some kind of Justice League forming with all of these characters, and with Felicity being smack into the middle of this. I could be totally wrong. This is just theory. But that's what I believe. And now we get on to the Black Canary. This is where I kind of feel like the show did it too fast. I know we've had the feeling that Felicity is going to become the Black Canary for a really long time, but as with most of the episodes, a lot of Felicity becoming the Black Canary feels really forced. There's no natural progression of her character. It's just like she's jumping from one end of the spectrum to another. But we do get Felicity donning on the Black Canary costume. And gotta admit, the costume doesn't look too bad. I'll have to say I prefer the look that Sarah Lance has. Because Sarah Lance's costume actually looked like it was belonging to the Arrow universe. And I feel like her costume was really, really different. And I'm kind of biased because I really, really like that character. But this is basically Black Canary 2.0. And I'm really, really not sure whether Laurel can really live up to what Sarah Lance left behind. But I like the costume. I think we're going to get a lot more of Laurel in the next episode. So it's just a wait and see game at the minute. Oliver is indeed alive. It's not clear about how he survived. A lot of us thought his survival was due to the Lazarus pit. It clearly wasn't. So there's something else there's something else at play here. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with the Omega Alpha serum thing that the flashbacks implied. And the flashbacks were great, as always. I know it seems that, I always skip the flashbacks, but just there's so much story happening all at once that I think sometimes the flashbacks don't make a big enough impact. But it is revealed that Katana is still alive. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I cannot wait for the next episode. I'm really, really excited. I'm so happy that Arrow is back on form again. It feels like they've got a plan for the next half of the season. I'm looking forward to it. And let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to make these as informative as I possibly can.